Will only a few be saved? That question was directed to Jesus. Will only a few be saved? He doesn't quite answer the question. But he does say that people should try to enter through the narrow gate, and many will not be able to do so. They won't have the strength. They won't have the discipline. Doesn't mean that they won't receive the discipline sometime in their life. But as we're born in this world, we don't have the strength to enter into the narrow gate unless we get the discipline. In the second reading from the book of Hebrews, the word discipline is mentioned 5 times. One of the times it says there that whom God loves, he disciplines. As a loving father will discipline his children. Discipline at first is not a cause for joy. It's painful. But later on, discipline has its results. We see in the Olympics the great discipline that those athletes had to obtain before they could even qualify. It's not only amongst the athletes that need discipline. Musicians need discipline and practice. Business owners, doctors, professionals, lawyers, people that work at something, they need discipline to accomplish it. And usually from discipline we realize that it can be applied to our spiritual life. Katie Ledecky, who just won 4 gold medals at the Olympic, 3 world records. And she talks about how her Catholic faith helped her in her swimming. The Catholic faith gave her a discipline, and she applied that discipline to swimming. Katie would also say, just before each race in the Olympics, she would say a Hail Mary. An outstanding example of someone who had discipline. The first reading also talks about how people from all around the world are called by the prophet Isaiah to come to Jerusalem to see the glory of God. And just what does Jerusalem have to offer the people of the world? Monotheism, the belief in one God, a God of love, calling us to love Him and to love our neighbor. And of course, that's one of the foundations of our civilization. One of the problems, though, that the modern world, which began in the 17th century and continues on through the 20th century, that modern world was different than the pre-modern world. The pre-modern world was built on faith and reason. And the modern world came up with the idea we can make great human progress by reason alone. We don't need faith. And certainly the world has made great progress. The technology from the 17th century to the present has provided to us with a wonderful way of life. However, the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars raised questions about Reason doesn't seem to be able to stop the brutality of the French Revolution or the terrible deaths of Napoleon's wars. It only raised questions. It really wasn't until the 20th century when we have the world wars, we have genocide, we have atomic and nuclear bombs. One wonders about just how far have we gone with reason. Well, it's provided so much, but it also threatens the very existence of the planet. So the age of reason, people are questioning. And we have a postmodern world that not only eliminates faith, but also reason. Opinion seems to dominate. One opinion is good as another. To be politically correct, you respect other people's opinion, even if they're wrong. Because reason has been eliminated, there's no longer argumentation. It's just what you believe as your opinion. And you do what you want to do. The modern world began in a way with René Descartes when he said, "Cogito ergo sum." I think, therefore I am, is the essence of life. In the pre-modern world, it was credo ergo sum. I believe, therefore I am. Or amo ergo sum. I love, therefore I am. That loving and believing are superior to thinking in a way. But they don't have to eliminate one another. They go together, where you have faith, religion, and reasoning working out things for the best possible world, so that we can direct ourselves to the monotheism that the Hebrews brought us of a loving God. They brought not only monotheism, but in that there was the 10 Commandments, respecting one another, the basis, the foundation of human rights, and besides that, the loving covenant between humankind and God. This loving relationship goes along with monotheism. And that's really what brings the whole world together. At the end of the gospel, it says that people will come from the north and the south, the east and the west. They'll come to believe in love. Today's readings, in a way, are about universal salvation, both in Isaiah and in the gospel. Yes, we may not be given or have discipline in the beginning, but we can develop through life with God's help. But the narrow way, the narrow gate indeed, is love. And love, of course, is based upon reason, faith, and religion. And that's what has been fading during the modern world. And in the postmodern world, some even call it today the anti-modern world that does not believe in faith and reason, just in what you want to do. And the trouble about what you want to do, there are too many tyrants, terrorists, drug dealers that do what they want to do. And then the love of neighbor is gone. And the love of God is gone. So let us realize how important love is in our lives. And let us practice love of neighbor and love of God, even though there's a darkness in this world of ours, whether it be the postmodern world or the anti-modern world, or even the modern world that some may be hanging on to. It's not enough. We also have to put in there the pre-modern world of faith and religion, love and reason.